Yeah, we're gonna build a live up tonight. We're gonna talk about Parkinson disease, man. You know, Parkinson disease, Parkinson disease. Build up the live and get to the live and share the live, please. And don't forget that you all have to make sure and lock down everything on the board right now, because you know those videos they keep coming down. Don't forget. Let me see who's on the live. Let me see who is on the live. Good night, Sophia. Oh, Sophie, you good? Give thanks, you know. Yes, blessed. Her name big. Maquitesh. Wow. Yeah, Tony Howard. Hello, Tony. Tony, how you doing tonight? Give thanks. We're gonna talk a little bit about. I love you too, Donnie. Yeah, give thanks. Yes, Doris, my sister in the Lord. Give thanks. Good evening. Karine Bernard. Good night. Yes, Sophie, I know you're always down the live, so give thanks and share the live. Don't forget. All right, enough love, you know. Yeah. Good night, everyone. Miss Hatchet, good night. Yeah. Normal. Yeah. Blessings. Brandy, good night. Leon Hardy, hello. Everything is good. I hope everyone is well, but I want you all to share the live. You know, my posts have been coming down and my videos have been coming down. You know, when you start speaking truth, that happens, you know. Wonderful. Yeah. Yes, good night. I'm Rachel. Roger, my brother, good night. Don't forget Roger's in Canada. And Roger, don't forget Roger, can you put up your number under the live so that people in Canada can contact you? And we're going to have somebody in England, in the UK. Naomi is going to be selling our product soon, you know. So we're going to have a number up in the next live once we have the products in the UK. And Roger Reed is there on the live, so he could put his number up if you're in Canada, any part of Canada, you want to get a product, make sure you contact Roger Reed, okay? All right, we don't want to stay too long, so we're going to get to the light. Amen, Doris, give thanks always. All right, Anita, right, yeah, bless it all. All right, wonderful. So tonight we're going to talk about some herbs that we use for Parkinson disease, and we know what that is. We're going to talk about Parkinson's, and if we were going to talk about Alzheimer's, we're going to go a little longer. So we don't want to go to Alzheimer's. So we're going to talk about Alzheimer's on a different program, different presentation. Alzheimer's is not about old age, all right? Usually they say that Parkinson disease affects older people. That's not true. It's a lot of people under 50 who came down with Parkinson disease, okay? All right? We're going to tell you some of the herbs you're going to use. Where is that? Dopa. Dopa. Keep it there for me, please. Here it is. Dopa. There is a disease called Parkinsonism. Not Parkinson disease. Parkinsonism. Ism. And that disease it give you similar symptoms like Parkinson's. It's not Parkinson's. So if you have tremors and you go to a doctor, a neurologist or neurosurgeon, whatever they are, and make sure that you are diagnosed with Parkinson disease, because Parkinsonism is give you similar symptom, but it's not Parkinson's. So you're going to have Parkinsonism and still have tremors, and it's not dopamine deficiency like Parkinson's. It is what we call a deficiency of copper. You know what I mean? Or too much copper and no zinc at all. So usually if you have an abundance of copper in the system and there's no zinc, you get what we call Parkinsonism. It's a symptom like Parkinson, but it's not Parkinson at all. So make sure that you check your doctor. Make sure you check your doctor. Make sure you check your doctor. You understand? And before he can diagnose you with Parkinson's, because there's a few people who was diagnosed with Parkinson, didn't have it. They had a high level of copper and low level of zinc. And because zinc and copper work together, it depletes some of the dopamine in the brain. Yeah. Free radical damage. Research again. Free radical damage of the nerve cells, because remember that Parkinson's disease is a condition of the what? of the central nervous system. We're going to show you some things that you can use to help stop the tremor. Yeah, and we're not here to cure these, because these statements tonight is not evaluated by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Yeah, so we don't come here to, we don't cure anybody. You know, but plans go in and help the body to balance so that you could heal yourself. Yeah, all right. That's my disclaimer. All right, wonderful. We're going to talk about this here called L-DOPA. L-DOPA, L-D-O-P-A. Yeah, we're going to talk about that and how it is important to increase dopamine back in the brain. Yeah, wonderful. Because in the medical system, they said to us that once the nerve is damaged, you can't get it back. Now, research is telling us and proving to us humans now that even though nerves are damaged, you can get them back gradually. Yeah. So I want to mention a few herbs here. We can talk about those here. One here. Anybody in the Caribbean countries know what soursop leaf is? Yeah. And we had a program with this. The research on this particular plant, research on this plant, that is it have more xanthones and is more effective in cancer treatment, shrinking tumors and preventing tumors from coming back. And that's research. Yeah. But it's also a nervine, and it is also a sedative. And usually if you have Parkinson's disease, because it affects the central nervous system and some of the cells we're going to talk about in a little while, that damages or make the part of the brain deplete dopamine, then you get tremors, muscle weakness. Those are the symptoms that you have, or you get when you have Parkinson's disease. Yeah. Now I want to show you how you can prevent it. But if you do have it, it takes a long time to repair it. Yeah. Some doctors, like Dr. Roberts, do what we call chelation therapy. That helps. But we go further than that, because chelation don't really work alone. And sometimes L-DOPA don't work alone either. And we're going to tell you why. All right. So soursop is one of the herbs that we can use when you have Parkinson. This herb is called skullcap. And skullcap is what we call an antispasmodic plant. It is very significant for the nerves, but it works very well with another herb called lady slipper. And if you can put skullcap together, if you can put soursop herb together, if you can put black haw together, and this herb is very significant as an antispasmodic for women who have an enlarged ovary and have what we call ovarian pain. If you have ovarian pain as a woman, you can use this herb and the pain disappear, boom, just like that, because it is what we call an antispasmodic herb. So usually, when you have tremors, we must go to what we call the antispasmodic plants. Yeah. So black haw is one of them. Yeah. This is another herb it's a Chinese plant called rosebuds. And rosebuds is also a nervine. So what we do for Parkinson's disease is we mix the nervines with the antispasmodic plants. So we are building back the nerves, because remember we said before that Parkinson is from the central nervous system. See? So when the nervous system is affected, it affects the part of the brain called the ganglia, I believe, and then all of a sudden it starts to deplete your dopamine. But free radical is one of the most damaging killer of dopamine and also of the central nervous system, right? We're going to talk about that in a little while. Over here this one is called wood betony. And wood betony is an herb that we use for the muscles. It is good for a lot of people who have arthritis and who have osteo and who have gout, you know what I mean, any form of arthritis, and who have bursitis, any kind of itis, bursitis, arthritis, rare or osteoarthritis. It is also important for when you have gout, and also when you have bursitis, when you have tennis elbow, they call it. Yeah, it's very important for that. So this herb is called wood betony, but it is also significant for Parkinson's disease if mixed with other plants. This one is called hops. And when you drink a beer and the beer is all frothy, that's what you drink in hops. So hops is the best thing in your beer. You see what I'm saying? So when you're drinking a beer, it's hops you're drinking also. So all these herbs, hops, wood betony, black haw, rosebuds, Mark them down for me. Skullcap and soursop leaf, and you can use some valerian. If you can't sleep and you have tremors, you can use some California poppy. We can talk about those in a little while. You can use some passion flower. If you have what we call repetitious thinking, there's a lot of plants you can use, but you have to use the nervines because Parkinson's disease is a nerve disease, like MS, multiple sclerosis, affect the nerves. The Parkinson affects the central nervous system, and that is why you get tremors. We'll talk about that, right? Wonderful. Let's put this aside here. Don't forget the herbs. Keep it on the board for a while. If people could log it down for me now. Soursop, nervine, sedative. Don't forget the words. Nervine, sedative. It calms the nerves. Good for anxiety. Good for the brain. Good for cancer. Research. All right, not Patrick Doves now. Next one is called skullcap. Antispasmodic. Nervine. One of the best nervine herb around is skullcap, and another herb called lady slipper. Mix it with bethany, and mix with black hawk, and mix with California poppy, and mix with hops, and mix with rosebuds. The tremor started going away day by day. All right, coming off the high refined carbohydrate diet. We're gonna talk about that in another while too. Wonderful. All right, let's come over here now, son. Let's go to the teachings now. Don't forget to know, we can always go back. All right, let's go over here. What is Parkinson's disease? What is Parkinson's disease, Patrick Dells? Parkinson's disease is a disease of the central nervous system that affects the basal ganglia, reducing dopamine production. Why, Patrick Dells? Because once you have a lot of free radical damage in the brain, free radicals, don't forget what free radicals are. They are molecules that start stealing your electron because of the food you eat. We live with free radicals, right? But if free radicals is in an abundance in the body, they affect the brain. No? Number two. Injury, trauma, stress, yeah, can also affect the brain. But free radical damage is one of the most significant things that cause dopamine reduction, because the free radicals affect what? It affects your central nervous system. Yeah? But a lot of them don't teach us these things, you know. You know what I mean? Although they might know, might not know, but they don't teach us these things. Free radical damage. Free radicals are molecules that live in the body, like funguses and yeast and viruses and parasites. They live with us. They live internally. But if there is an excessive amount of free radical running around in your system, and you're supposed to have 50% of free radicals in your body, and you have 80% of the free radicals running around in your system, what will happen to you eventually? I want to say to people, if you have the weakest link of the body, which is your brain, that's where the disease goes. If the weakest link is in your liver, that's where the disease goes. If the weakest link is in your intestines, that's where the disease goes. If the weakest thing is in your heart, that's where the disease goes. And if the weakest thing is in your kidney and the nerves, that's where the disease goes. You see what I'm saying? So if there is excessive amount of free, don't forget the word, free radicals. Free radicals are molecules. And what they do is, remember we have what we call an electron transport system where we are now transporting. That's what I said before. Dr. Budwitz said, if you, the doctor, the oncologist, can get your cells, that cancer cell, to go back to the resting place, you can fix cancer. Because once you have that electron transport system transporting your cells, and then all of a sudden you're eating so bad, eating the food that creating a lot of free radicals, so instead of having 50 free radicals, you have 100 of them. Yeah? And all of a sudden now, your free radical come and steal an electron. And then all your electrons become impaired. Diseases start to form now. And then all of a sudden, you're eating the same old foods again that causing all these free radicals to damage the system. And the free radical come again, and he steals another electron, impaired. And he comes again, and he steals another electron, impaired. And he steals all of them. And then all of a sudden, your cells are lost. No transportation. See what I'm saying? Yeah? And then all of a sudden, the free radicals get into the brain. And because he's in abundance in the brain, he starts damaging the central nervous system because he's a free radical. So you have to go to the antioxidant to prevent oxidation. Yeah? So once the free radical get into the brain, research now by doctors, not Patrick, they're doctors now. Once free radicals get into the brain and the free radicals start affecting and damaging the central nervous system, your central nervous system in turn now will start to diminish. And that's why we have to use the nervines. And once the cells start diminishing, it affects the part of the brain that cause you to have what we call muscle movement, and you get what we call Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease. Over here, come on, son. So Parkinson's disease is the disease of the central nervous system that affects the basal ganglia, reducing dopamine production. So if you, the person, can keep the central nervous system healthy, eating right, and you can have good, what we call absorption in the intestines, you're going to fix Parkinson's disease, man. Next one. We mentioned herb a while ago, skull cap. Don't forget, mark them down for me. Take the video down. Skull cap, oat straw, valerian, lobelia, black haw, kava, passion flower, corydalis, and bacopa, corydalis. These are herbs that work on the brain. And because lots of people who have Parkinson, they get depressed, they get anxiety. So we have to work on the brain, we have to work on the nerves, and we have to work on the endocrine system. So these are the herbs. Mark them down for me before we remove the video again. Skull cap, oat straw, valerian, lobelia, black haw, kava, passion flower, corydalis, and an herb called bacopa for the brain. Let's go again. Dopa. Oh yes, son. Dopa. Now you see this here? Watch it here now. I want you all to follow it for me now. See that here? See that mark here? Point up a little bit. Which is up here? See there? El Dopa. Huh? DOPA 400. You see, I do research. And I try to help the people who have Parkinson's disease. Naturally. Yeah? Dopa 400. Magnesium. Very important for the hippocampus of the brain. Because if there is no magnesium in the brain, and because magnesium is one of the most important muscle relaxer, it relaxes the muscle of the heart too also. And it is also a nerve relaxer too. Muscle and nerve. So it is what we call an antispasmodic mineral. You are deficient. 80% of the American population is deficient in magnesium. 80%, I'm going to say it again. 80% of the American population is deficient in magnesium. Facts. And that's why lots of women have lots of period pain. They call it dysmenorrhea in the medical system. Because lots of women who is suffering from dysmenorrhea, period pain that is lacking in magnesium. Or they have blood stasis. So if you have Parkinson and know someone who have it, let them take at least 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams of magnesium with calcium. Stay right there, son. Calcium, magnesium. They work together. This is the banger. This is the calmer. Make sure you buy them in gels, capsules, a powder, but not in the tablets. They don't work in tablets at all, period. Wonderful. Magnesium, L-theanine, B12, B6, B100. Why B6, Patrick does? Because L-Dopa depletes B6. You see what I'm saying? So once you have taken L-Dopa, because L-Dopa depletes the B6 vitamin, you have to replenish. But you need B6, you need B1, you need B2 because they work in the nervous system. And you need B12 for the neurotransmitter in your brain because dopamine is a neurotransmitter of the brain. Amino acid. Amino acids. Amino acids are significant, especially this one here. The hydroxyphenylalanine, they call it. He repels dopamine. They don't teach you all that though. This guy right here. But sometimes you don't absorb it properly. Why, Patrick does? Because we're going to tell you why. Amino acids are important if you want to bring back up the dopamine in the brain. Yeah? And if you have to use the nervines too. Yeah? So dude, mark them down. See this guy right here? He's the boss. This guy right here. And there's research on him too. Lots of research. Yeah? Wonderful. So mark him down for me. And if you know anyone that have that condition, you could ask them to go on a program. Yeah? It take a little while. It may take more than 2 years now to fix Parkinson. But you can see results. Trauma become less. All right? Wonderful. Now, anyone that you know who have Parkinson's disease, make them go on what you call a high complex carbohydrate diet. Why Patrick does? Because a not refined now, not white rice and brown rice. They are refined. Not potatoes, pasta, they are refined. Complex carbohydrate. High complex carbohydrates. When you have what? Parkinson's disease. Why Patrick does? Because a high complex carbohydrate diet can be manufactured from some amino acid and can also regulate protein and fat metabolism, because we know for a fact that when you have Parkinson's disease, there's high protein in the system. Yeah? So the high complex carbohydrate diet can be manufactured from some amino acid, the one we mentioned before, and can regulate protein and fat metabolism by offsetting the too much protein in the diet. So once you have or know someone who have Parkinson's disease, all refined carbohydrates should be out of the diet. All bad fats should be out of the diet. And make sure you get them. You see this bean right here? Wow! Broad beans. Very, very rich in amino acids. Rich in this amino acid. All of them. Broad beans. So once you know someone who have Parkinson, make sure they get broad beans. Because broad beans have lots of amino acid. And when you have Parkinson's disease, you need the amino acids now. Wonderful. Let's go up. L-Dopa can what? Restore dopamine levels. If no results are found using L-Dopa, is because what Patrick does, because your intestines
is not absorbing.
My son, you're a smart boy. I love you, son. Your intestines are not absorbing nutrients. If L-Dopa, this guy right here, him, if he can restore dopamine, him, follow me. But sometimes he don't restore dopamine. Why Patrick does? Because your intestines is not absorbing, number one. Number two, if you have ulcers, you can't absorb him either. If you have liver troubles and gallbladder trouble, you can't absorb him either. If you have stress, the pen gonna go in, but that's all right. If you have stress, you can't absorb L-Dopa. You follow me? So you can take the L-Dopa forever, and you're not getting results because you're still shaking. Why? Because you are not absorbing in your intestines. And that's the reason why I said before that anytime you have to fix any disease, you must go back to the earth system. You have to go back there. Let's go over here, son. Come, son. See where you gotta go? You must go to the earth system. Must. If you don't go there, you ain't fixing nothing, because this is absorption. And this is elimination. And this over here is digestion. Digestion. Assimilation. Absorption. And elimination. So if you are not digesting L-Dopa properly, and you still having tremors after taking L-Dopa, you better go and fix over here, because this is where you absorb. And if you're not absorbing anything in here, especially when you have to drag the amino acids inside here, you will never ever fix Parkinson's disease. So once you can't absorb L-Dopa, you have to go and fix the digestive system. And 80 to 90% of the American people have bad digestion. Yes, sir. Wonderful. So the ganglia of the brain is the gray matter, is above the stem of the brain. You see what I'm saying? So if you have Parkinson's disease, man, you know, like Muhammad Ali did, and I think it's Jamie Foxx had it too. One of the white guys had it too. I think he still have it. Got to try some other stuff because people could have this tremor, and they have what we call Parkinsonism. And Parkinsonism is not Parkinson. Parkinson, don't forget the words. Parkinsonism is not Parkinson's disease. But some doctors misdiagnose patients who have tremors and put them on drugs for Parkinson's disease, not knowing that they only have what we call Parkinsonism, which is a high level of copper and a low level of zinc, causing you to shake a little bit. Doesn't mean you have Parkinson's. So what you have to do is educate your doctors now. If you shake, doesn't mean you have Parkinson's disease. You can have Parkinsonism. Don't forget the word. Parkinsonism. Yeah? Younger people have it. And if you're young and you have it, make sure you ask your doctor to make sure that your zinc and your copper is in balance, because zinc and copper work together like all the B vitamins do. One B vitamin don't work with all the other. Calcium do not work without magnesium. Magnesium do not work without calcium. Magnesium do not work without potassium. You see? Because the minerals work together. So you have to have a balance. So once you have all the B's together, they're going to work well. And L-Dopa also, this here, L-Dopa, he also depletes B6 vitamin. So once you're going to take L-Dopa, make sure that you get a B6 vitamin, take 300 milligrams per day, and make sure that you get a B12 vitamin and take about 2,000 micrograms per day. Check to see if your levels are high or low or in the middle. And make sure that you're going to take 100 milligrams of all the B's, also with the B6 and your B12, because they help with the neurotransmitters in your brain. As I said before, free radical damage is the main cause of dopamine deficiency. Oh, he's not a doctor. He don't know nothing. Research. 10 doctors that people believe in did a research and found out that lots of people, 80% of the people who was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease had lots of free radical in the brain. I do research. I'm a researcher. You know what I mean? The research proved that 80% of the men and the women who were suffering from Parkinson's disease had lots of free radical floating around in their brain. Unless you got injury, like Muhammad Ali got hit in his head already on a regular basis. Trauma, injury can cause it too. But if there is no trauma, if there is no injury, 80% of the population or the people who have Parkinson's disease got it from free radical damage. If your brain is weak, that is where your disease is going to go. If the brain is weak and is deficient in magnesium, in sulfur, in L-theanine, in GABA, in DHA, that is found in the brain, because your brain is like a registry. You follow me? You have to have the brain, the mind is so powerful. That's why Christ could tell people, if you look at a mountain and say, move your little tail, boy, move the mountain, gone. Because the brain tells you to move. That's how powerful the brain is. Because you were made in the image of the Most High God. And if you were made in the image of the Most High God, stand up, son. If you were made in the image of the Most High God, and you should tell a mountain, say, move, boy, move. Tell the mountain, say, God damn, you tell a God, because you're gods. We all are gods. And because we were made in the image of God, we could tell something to move, and it's gone. Move. Tell the demon, get up, demon. The demon say, oh, shoot. He got the boy, he gone too, son. Take that. You see? Because the brain, the mind, that's why they say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. But if you want to keep the mind intact, you must keep the digestive system intact, because that's where the earth system is at. And because the brain is your registry, and your brain needs nutrients, your brain do not absorb nothing, your brain do not digest nothing. Your brain have to depend on your digestive system to absorb your nutrients so that it can feed the brain from the liver, which filters the blood and keep the blood in an alkaline state. The kidney does that too. Take that. You see? But lots of people, they eat so bad when they're young. And I always tell the young people, watch me now. When you get older, you call it all of us old people, you're only getting old the same goddamn way too. When you get old now, you get older, then it catches up with you. So all the time you're eating all the fried and oxtail and the garbage food and all the fried chicken and the big fried rice and the macaroni and cheese on a Sunday, right in the top. And you're going to sleep with food in your belly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah? Huh? And 30 years down the line, you get to be 55 years old and your son starts shaking. I don't have it in my family. You don't have it in your family when you're eating bad. Gotta change. Gotta make that, you have to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Because we were taught so bad. We were taught to eat 3 meals per day. Morning, afternoon, evening. From the time we are from infancy, our mothers and fathers chucking them things in our throat and telling the stomach to take it and shut up. And then after we get a little bellyache and the stomach says, listen, I'm warning you now, man. A little bellyache comes and say, you're going to take some Pepto-Bismol and you feel good, or some Tagamet. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You take that and you feel good. And it's okay, stomach, here again. And you're going to be doing the same exact thing. And the stomach says, God, man, I'm telling you, man, stop. And you're still going to be doing the same thing to the stomach. The stomach says, okay, gastritis, ulcers, Crohn's disease, nausea feeling, yeah? Diabetes, because they are changing the pH in your secretion of the pancreas. Because you were taught so bad. And then the medical system like you all now because they know we taught them bad. They don't eat anything. So you have diabetes going in the hospital, you get up in the morning, they give you some bread and cheese. Make your sugar go higher because they were not taught about nutrition. So when you have Parkinson, you got to go to what we call a nutritionist who deals with good nutrition. You know what I'm saying? And you feed the brain what it needs. Because you must go back over here. But if you have ulcers, if you have liver troubles, if you lose your gallbladder, which will have to emulsify your fats, how are you going to fix Parkinson's disease? Because as I said before, if you're not absorbing L-DOPA, it's because your digestive system is messed up, or you have an ulcer, or your liver ain't filtering the blood properly, it's overloaded with toxins, or your gallbladder is gone, you can't emulsify your fats no more. You see? Save your organs. Don't let them pull it out. See what I'm saying? Yeah? And change your diet. See? Because now we're on a program. Program is almost done. How are we feeling? Good. Because why? Because you are resting your organs. You rest them. Give them a break. Don't abuse them. Rest them a little while. Stay right here, son. Give them this. Give them fresh juices. Fresh juices. Give them that. And drink them every day. You know what I mean? And feed them. Because when you drink this, it feeds your cells. Right away. 15 seconds. And the cells say, oh my goodness, thank you, my brother. Oh, I'm so happy because you have beta carotene. You have terpenoids. You have flavonoids. You have carotenoids. All the veins are good because he's happy. But when you feed him oxtail, and you're feeding him pork, and you're feeding him beef, and you're feeding him chicken, which is a domestic food, they have how much water they have? Maybe 1% water. And if the body functions in water, 80% water, you have to drink water, liquids. Because the body functions in 80% liquids. That's why God gave us a green food diet in the beginning. Because you know it's water. You follow me? So these here, feed your cells. What the pork does, give you parasites. What the pork does, give you a worm attack. You know what a worm attack is? Heart attack. We call it a worm attack because the worm attack is heart. Because of the pork oxtail, yeah, and the fried food every day, and the greasy food. Yeah, if you want to eat them, but clean your system on a regular basis. You want a parasite cleanse, yeast cleanse, move the yeast out, excessive amount of yeast in the system, and you will stay healthy. But because you were taught so bad, and you were taught to eat and drink at the same time, you were taught to eat and run, you were taught to eat and rush, you were taught to eat and look at television, you were taught to eat and be when you're angry, you were taught to eat and go lay down and sleep. You know, That's when you're sick. You were taught bad. And then they tell you now, your heavy meal should be a breakfast. How come? If you tell me that a B-R-E-A, B-R-E-A, break fast. You tell me to break a fast. But you're telling me my first meal in the morning should be heavy. Yeah? But you're telling me the night before I cannot supposed to eat. So I have to break the fast. With what? With a heavy meal. No. You see what I'm saying? They taught us wrong. They taught you to eat a starch with a protein. They taught you to have fats, starches, protein, and oil in the same food, in the same plate. And then they taught you to eat a breakfast, a big one, and go sit up behind a desk in the morning. So your belly get big after a while. Hormones start taking over or your bam get big, or your legs, and you feel you're healthy, but it's hormones you're storing right there. And they said to you, eat the breakfast, big one, and then you eat it so bad together. And by 12 o'clock you eat your lunch, and the lunch meet the breakfast in your stomach. And you eat a lunch so bad, and you want to eat dinner, so-called dinner, 8 o'clock in the nighttime, and your dinner meets the lunch in your stomach. And then you try to figure out, years from now, when you get to be 30 and 40 and 50, why you have high blood pressure. You try to figure out, when you reach 30, 40, and 50, why you have trouble in your stomach. GERD, acid reflux, ulcers, acid reflux, ulcers, diabetes, pancreatitis, pancreatic cancer. You try to figure out why. And the doctor says, oh, it's in your genes. That's not true. Because he taught you to eat the wrong way. And because you were eating the wrong way, it catches up with you long term. Yeah? And that's why I said programs are important. You see? Don't eat 3 meals per day. Eat 1 meal per day. Or 2 meals per day. Don't eat in the nighttime. Night is when God created sleep for healing. The only time you heal is when you're sleeping. You don't heal when you're walking around all day. You don't heal. You only heal when you put that head on that bed and you start snoring, and then all the endocrine glands, from the adrenals to the pituitary to the pineal to the ovaries to the pancreas to the prostate gland to the thymus gland, start regenerating between the hours of 8 p.m. and 1 a.m. Between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. in the morning, your liver starts to and between 3 a.m. in the morning and 4:30 a.m. in the morning, between 3 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. in the morning, your kidney now is picking up all them acid from your tissues to chuck it in your urine as acid in the morning. You see, you have to give them a break. When they teach all your bad. And that's the reason why 80% of the population in the world is sick. You know what I mean? Because they taught us the wrong way. And I come to educate people and to change the way you want to eat so that you all don't end up in the system. You understand? And having diabetes and high blood pressure and Parkinson disease and Alzheimer's. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Moses died at 120 years old and his eye was not dim. How come? Memory. So you have to work on that. And in order to work here to prevent Alzheimer's and Parkinson, you must work down here. Yeah? So we can talk about Alzheimer's the next time. And because we know for a fact that Alzheimer's disease is caused by lots of other things, mercury and lead and aluminum, we're going to talk about how we can do a mercury and or heavy metal cleanse to remove all these heavy metals from the spleen and the brain, helping the brain to function and reversing Alzheimer's disease. That's going to be our next presentation. And our next presentation is going to be on how to repair ulcers, external ulcers. Because they tell you when you have an ulcer out here on your leg because of diabetes, they wrap it up. Why would you want to wrap up an ulcer? Why would you want to wrap up an ulcer that's external? You can't wrap an ulcer up because you have to get oxygen. So we're going to teach you, as a diabetic or a person who have an ulcer on any part of, externally, we're going to teach you and show you some herbs, what you can do with the sea moss gel, and the oatmeal gel, and the honey, and some herbs, and some vitamins and minerals, and we're going to show you how you can increase the fibrins in these ulcers to help the blood to flow again. Don't forget the email is, the website is patrickdellsHolisticHealing.com. Yeah? And I want to thank everybody for the support on the website. But we're having a problem with the labels, so let me just explain it before people get angry and say, right. Now, come over here, son. These are our labels, yeah? And because when we have a black company that we did with labels, and they're all long time to get labels out, over a month now. So some of the products are here, but they have no labels. So you have to be patient, because patience is virtue. And I'm patient with the brother too. Yeah, I understand. He's busy also. But he's keeping me back at the same time, because now our labels are not here on time. So a lot of the products can't be sent out because of the label. Okay? So don't feel because you don't have your product is because of something else, because the labels are not here. So what we are doing is we are asking people if they could accept them with a label, and we put a little label on the bottom with the product name. Okay? If you want to do that, you can give me a call and we're going to figure that out for you. Okay? That's the problem. Yeah? Wonderful. And then we have the endocrine and nerve and the brain formula. And you could go on the website and get those for the brain and for the nerves. Help the nerves to prevent tremors. All right? Don't forget Patrick does holistichealing.com. Wonderful. Endocrine and nerve. Brain. And if you're taking my product, make sure you eat the right food. You can't be taking my product and eat a lot of junk food. If you're taking these things, don't forget, herbs come with change of diet and change of lifestyle. Don't forget, herbs come with change of diet and change of lifestyle. Otherwise, you're going to still have the same problem. Blessed love, give thanks. And don't forget the number is Angel on Hand, 888-496-4770. You're going to call Angel on Hand, and she's going to give you an appointment from you. Okay? Wonderful. And we had I want to thank Angel on Hand for being so aggressive and helping our people. Because when we did the MS, multiple sclerosis video, 49 people called. So that's telling us that lots of people is suffering from multiple sclerosis. So I don't want you all to suffer from Parkinson when you get older. So prevent it. So prevent free radicals from damaging the brain. Give thanks. Take a few questions. Okay, Sansa? Yes, ma'am. We're going to take a few questions and then we're going to head out to bed. Past the bedtime already. What time it is now? Bedtime past. Long time. Wonderful. He's calling me this. Thank you. Yes, Lisa? God bless you too, my sister Doris. Thank you, my dear. Doris, I love what you do. You are passing on the message to other people. That's a good thing. And don't forget, we have a group called Come Chat with Patrick Delves. And that group is significant because we have programs in the group. And if you want to join the program, you can join the program and you could put up what you're doing so we can feed each off each other. All right, that's very significant. Yeah. The website is PatrickDelvesHolisticHealing.com and the email is naturalhealingofthebody75@gmail.com. Lung, well, it's what's going on with your lung, Miss Brooks or Maxine. If remember the different lung condition, so I can't give you a lung formula if I don't know what's happening with the lung. So can you pick up a lung formula there for me, please? A lung formula inside there for me, please. Now you have a hot and a damp condition of the lung, and then you have a hot and dry condition of the lung, and you have a dry and damp condition of the lung. So this is the lung formula right here. See, but I have to know as a herbalist what is happening with your lung. So you can have a cough and the cough is dry, and if I give you a dry herb, it won't work. And if you have a cough and the cough is damp, and I give you a damp herb, it won't work. You see what I'm saying? So I have to know what's happening with your lung, okay? Before I could give you a lung formula. That's very important because herbal medicine is not what people think it is. Wonderful. Hi Shanti. Good night, Miss Johnson. Joan George, blessing to you. Great information tonight. Thank you very much. We are here to pass on information to our people because our people die because of lack of knowledge. They perish. We don't have no knowledge because we were taught the wrong way. Oh, the phone number is 888, very slow, 888-496-4770. Ask for Angel on Hand. Constipation is what's causing the constipation. If you're constipated and it's coming from the liver, if the liver is not producing lots of bile, we have to give you herb that helps the liver to do that. So the yellow dock root is good for that. If it's from the liver, if it's from neuropathy, meaning that you have the constipation coming from the nerve that is not sending a signal to the muscles to contract to have your peristalsis movement, then we might go and use some B complex and some herb for the nervous system and the muscles at the same time, like with Bethany and skull cap, okay? So we have to find out what is causing you to have the constipation in order for us to fix or repair your constipation. Hi, Joyce, I love you too. Yes, I love everybody, all my people. What type of arthritis though? Because gout is arthritis, osteo, rheumatoid. Which one is it? Rheumatoid is when the immune system attacks the joints and make it expand and divide. So you have to know which one it is. Okay, wonderful. The telephone number again is 888 4964770. And if Roger is on the live, Roger Reed, I think I saw him on the live. He can okay, I'll check my WhatsApp, Kiki. He can give you his number in Canada. Because Roger is our distributor in Canada. We're gonna have Naomi in England, and we're gonna be going to England soon. And we're gonna have Keenan Monroe is also in Trinidad. His number is 868-838-7979. I think the products are cleared because they had to go to the Food and Drug Administration. I don't sell garbage stuff, you know. And so you can call Keenan Monroe in Trinidad now because all the products are there already. And we have a lot of people in Canada now who's going to join that next program in April, the Yeast and Parasite Cleanse coming up in April. So I want to thank everybody for the support and for doing the Yeast and Parasite Cleanse. And tomorrow night, now we're going to do that flushing of the digestive system to remove the parasites in the bowel from the bowels. Okay, wonderful. How can we set an appointment with you? Call 888-496-4770. And Agent Onham will give you an appointment, okay? Wonderful. North Carolina. Yeah, we could be coming to well, the summertime is coming soon, so we're gonna have some seminars coming up. We're gonna go to Florida. I think it's on the 5th. And we're gonna go to Orlando. I think we're going in Jacksonville, and we have to go to North Carolina. We're gonna go to Atlanta, Georgia soon, when the weather gets a little warmer. We have to go Philly. We're going to go to Boston, do some seminars, and we're going to start to educate our people. And we're going to the UK, and we're hoping to go to the promised land. I call Ethiopia. Ethiopia, the promised land, man. We have to go there. So we hope to go there from the Netherlands into Ethiopia sometime in August or September, you know, because a lot of our African people are also significant. His name is Keenan Monroe in Trinidad, and his number is 868-388-7979, and he have all my products there already. So if you want any one of the products mentioned tonight, you can always call Keenan and get that product, okay? Wonderful. Yeah, Canada, well, Roger Reed is on the live, so he can put up his number there. All right? Boston, I think we're going to do Boston in I think it's late August or early August, I believe. And we're going to be in Canada if we don't have to be vaccinated now. We're going to be in Canada once we don't have to be vaccinated. We'll be coming to Canada to do a seminar soon, okay? We're going to put it up on the post. New Jersey. Well, once I'm invited to New Jersey, I'm going to come, yeah? So, you know. North Carolina is going to be in Atlanta time. It's going to be in, I think it's late July, early August. And we're going to put it up on the post. I'm going to tell you where it's going to be at, okay? We have Brother Antoine is going to be there. And we have a big radio interview. We're going to tell you where we're going to be at in Atlanta, okay? As soon as we get all the dates organized, we're supposed to go to Chicago yesterday, but as you know, I don't have my passport, so not yet anyway. So we had to cancel Chicago. But as soon as I get my passport, we'll be moving all over the place, you know, all over the world. Once we don't have to be vaccinated, wonderful. I'll be in Miami on the 5th, until in Florida, in fact, Jacksonville. But I'll be in Miami on the 10th, going back to Grenada. So maybe sometime in August, I'll be back in Miami, okay? Wonderful. We might be in Manchester in London, and then after London, I think we're going to the Netherlands, and we're hoping to go to Ethiopia after the Netherlands to spread the message of love and health to our people. Detroit, we're going to come to Detroit soon. We were invited by our sister there, I think it was a couple of months ago, and I think a lot of rain came, so it spoiled the seminar. But we're hoping that Baba could get us there again in Detroit to help our people, okay? The Brooklyn number is 631-530-2329, and Ambrosia is 718-469-0985. And thank everybody for watching. All right? And don't forget that we are our brother's keeper. And don't forget to love your neighbor as yourself. And don't forget to remember that we have to start building back the Black Wall Street, where we could have our own stuff. We don't have to depend on no one for nothing. And we brutalize them with music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dry cough in children. If you have a dry cough, you can use some sea moss or some marshmallow or some fennel seeds for child. You can use those herbs if they have a dry cough. Yeah. All right. Don't forget our Black Wall Street. Think that. You know what I mean? Think that. That's how I think. We have to uplift ourselves. And once we have love among ourselves, we could conquer anything, because love conquers everything, man. Don't forget that. You have love among ourselves. Stop dealing with this, with what we call the Willie Lynch syndrome. You know what I mean? You know, don't act as there's crab in a barrel. Start to uplift ourselves, and we could build. We are so powerful. We are very powerful people, you know. You know what I mean? We are very powerful black people. You don't know how powerful all you is. Oh, you're powerful. Rise up, your mighty race. Accomplish what you can. You know what I mean? We are so powerful. But yet we know how powerful we are. You understand? If you know Africa is the most richest continent in the world in terms of natural resources, but it is the most underdeveloped, why so? We must be powerful. Anyway, we gonna be powerful. They couldn't kill us off in slavery because we're still here. You know what I mean? Because we're powerful. But we don't know how powerful we are because we don't have no unity. And once we have that unity, we'll be run everybody out of the neighborhood, and everybody gonna be run them out. Whoop, they're gone. Bless and love everybody. Good night. Give thanks. Run them out of your neighborhood. You know what I mean? And then own what you have in your own neighborhood. You know what I mean? And when you own what you have, then you'll be able to you will be able to uplift yourself as a people. You know what I mean? But don't let anybody come into your neighborhood and take what you have and run out with your money. Because when they run out, their neighborhood become richer and your neighborhood become poorer. I'm trying to teach you all that. I'm a Marcus Garvey fan from Jamaica. I'm a Bob Marley fan. I'm a Patrice Lumumba fan. I'm a Thomas Sankara fan. I'm a Steve Biko fan. I'm a Malcolm X fan. You understand? They're my followers. I mean, they're the people I follow. So I look at them and I say, why we are in the state that we are in today? Because we have no unity, but we are mighty. Rise up, you mighty people, and accomplish what you can. Blessed love. Good night. Give thanks. Love always. All right. Maxine Brooks, love always.